Good morning, everybody. How are you guys doing? So this is another post that I'm down with the Hope crew now, and they were talking about working 9 to 5, and I was going to explain the story of what I was thinking about was when I was working at my last 9 to 5 job a few years before my amputation. Okay, I was living in New Jersey and I was a medical assistant. I was in the healthcare field, and I worked at this office, which was an urgent care and primary care office, and they have 4 different locations in the state of New Jersey. And this was a office where I did my externship from after I left the telecommunications, the phone company, and Nextel. I worked at Nextel as well, and I wanted to go into healthcare. And I didn't want to go right into nursing because I had never worked in healthcare, and I wasn't committed to going into something that I had no familiarity with. So I went to the ultrasound school, the ultrasound diagnostic school, and their program was like 2 years, and I didn't want to commit to that. So they said, well, we have this program that's 6 months for medical assistant. Would you be interested in that? So I took the entrance exam, and of course, everybody passed. As long as they get their money, they don't care. So I started that, and that was in Island, New Jersey, was where the location is, Sanford Brown now. So I finished that, and I got my externship at this office in Secaucus, New Jersey, which ended up, after my externship, I got employed there. So that was in 2003, and I worked there up until 2015. And I actually worked there after 2010, I worked there like almost 5 years with no increase. I didn't get a pay raise. We had a little discrepancy because they wanted me to take this supervisor position, and everybody who was taking that position was getting fired. And I was like, no, I don't want to, no, I'm good. So I was the evening medical assistant, and in the evening, we always had one x-ray tech, a medical assistant, a doctor, a PA. It was sort of short of staff, but after 5:30, 6 o'clock, we didn't have any supervision there. All the office people were gone, administrators were gone. So we really flowed at night. We did great. It was till 10 o'clock. So I had wrote an email after a while indicating that, that I wanted to discuss my raise. So every time I would do that, they would say, oh, it's on the budget, just hold on, we're going to get around to everybody. And, so I had heard that other people were getting increases and stuff, and they was telling people don't talk about it and everything. So I would send an email, and they called me to the corporate office down in Linden, and I thought I was going in to get my raise. And I got in there, and they fired me. I was like, what? And they had went through and told me that I had exhausted all my family medical leave or my sick time or whatever. But I was like, what? And it was just 3 ladies who were it was my manager, the supervisor, and the HR. And when I jumped up from the table, I was like, you mean today? I said, as of right now, today I'm done. So they was like, yes, yes. And one young lady, she just hung her head. She was like, she was disgusted. But actually, I felt great, right? So I jumped up from the table. I hugged each one of them. And one lady, her initial was ST, she pushed her chair back because she must have thought I was going to attack her or something. I was like, thank you, God bless. God bless y'all. So I appreciate everything y'all done. I said, woo, that was like such a weight off my shoulder. I was shocked. And my husband, I would work 2:30 to 10, and he would get off at work at 3. I was back home by the time he got off of work. When he came home, I had my pajamas on. I was at the computer filing for my unemployment. He was like, "What you doing home?" I was like, "They fired me." He was like, "What?" And he said, "Don't worry about it." I was like, I wasn't worried about it. I felt so relieved. I felt so relieved. I was like, and then when I started thinking about it, I did get a little agitated because when I started thinking about all the extensions I did, the overtime but then I said, you know what? It wasn't about the money. I enjoyed my job. I love my patients. I love the co-workers I was working for. And I love God. So I was working up until the Lord. The Lord knew that I was, doing what I needed to do. So it wasn't about the money, and I had the flexibility and everything that I needed. And that was a step that I needed to take. But instead of them letting me step out, they pushed me out. And that was fine with me. And I was fine with that. And that was 2015. And since 2015, I haven't had a job where I had to punch a clock yet. And I have not wanted for anything. And I'm so glad that they fired me, because I probably would still been there fussing and carrying on wanting a raise. So I don't feel like I was taken advantage of. I feel like I got the advantage because I was able to leave in peace. And that's my story. No 9 to 5, and I'm still alive. Y'all have a good one. We'll talk soon. Bye-bye.